It's your boy, the one Joey V.
This is Boss Dog Cigars.
This is Quentin Moore chilling in the Cigar Lounge. Have a drink with your boys and tune in. Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Cigar Lounge and Podcast. I'm your local hero flying solo, but I got what appears to be our favorite guest. The most visits that we've had so far.
I know.
Represents everything. Y'all saw on the podcast, you see on TikTok, you see on IG. Everybody, Mrs. Coco Cigar Cutie.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, you know what? You're my favorite guy. You're my favorite guy. Don't tell anybody that.
I'm telling Mark.
I know. Don't tell Mark.
I'm telling Mark. God, Mark. I told Mark, we gotta, cause I work at there in Laurel now. So I'm like, Mark, we gotta hang out, man. We definitely gotta hang out.
Yeah, I tell him, I said, when he's going to the cigar lounges up there, I tell him, listen, because Laurel's not that far from Upper Marlboro, So I'm like, if you decide that you want to go somewhere, but you gotta tell me early in the day. You gotta don't tell me at 7 o'clock you're gonna be there.
He grabbed me like that. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be in like, oh yeah, we going to where we going? Cigar 210. I was like, at 7. Like, man, I'm still at work. I won't even get back to the house till like 7.
Exactly. I think that might have been the same day he called me because he was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the ladies first. We be there around 8 o'clock." It was like 7:45. I'm like, dude.
I am looking for. I'm looking up for a spot either in Bowie, Upper Marlboro, or Laurel, one of the three. Bricks is getting me closer to work, so I got to make this long drive.
Okay.
Let's get out the personal stuff. Let's get into the personal stuff.
Yes.
As y'all can see by the shirt,
hey,
we the business.
business.
You had one of these cigar. It was a good cigar. I had it. I tried it. It was a good cigar.
Then which one did you get? I forgot which one I gave you.
I forgot.
I gave you the Maduro one. So okay. I gave you the it was the Cameroon from the Boss Premium collection. Okay. So there's 3 different how do I want to say it? 3 separate cigars. 3 different lines of cigars. So then there's the Boss line. Mm-hmm. There's the premium line, and then there's the CEO line. So you had a cigar from the Boss line. So the Boss line is the Cameroon, the Connecticut, the tri-leaf, which let me tell you something. This tri-leaf is something special. You got to try this one. And then he also has the Candela. The Candela one, I've had the Candela, but by far, I think the tri-leaf one is my most favorite. It's like 3 cigars in one. It literally feels like you're smoking 3 cigars in one because you get the milder start, and then you go into like a mild medium, and then you get to the full medium by the time you finish. So it's like a Connecticut, Candela, and then a Cameroon leaf. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
I like how you like your product. Conversations about people who trying to be brand ambassadors and don't know the product when we ask questions.
You got to know the product. That's the first thing that you should be doing when you're smoking cigars, not just smoking a cigar, but know what you're smoking. I mean, the Boss line is all from Nicaragua, from northern Nicaragua, closest to Honduras. So you got to know what you're smoking. I mean, people do smoke cigars just to smoke cigars, and they know what they like, but I like to actually know what I'm getting, what I'm smoking, where it came from, the region, the soil. Like I like to know all of that.
Now, see, I don't take that into account unless I smoke a cigar that I like, or I'm talking to somebody who makes a cigar, and then we get cool. Then I learn that stuff. If I'm just picking up a cigar for the first time, I really don't care.
Okay. Well,
if I don't like it, I'm not going to research it.
Right. So it doesn't matter at that point. Yeah. And I do get that, but see, I think it comes from my former educational background that I have to know everything there is to know about everything in the cigar and in the cigar world. So when I decide to start smoking it, I'm deep diving. I can't swim a lick, but I'm going down in the deep end. Uh-oh, did we lose each other?
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
It's just for a second. Ken Bro edited that out. That's my man. That's my man. That's the he's the engine. So
it's always good to have an engine. I'm always the caboose. I'm not the engine. I like to be in the back. I'm always last.
See, I always do it in terms of cars. I say Ken is the engine, B1's the transmission, and I'm the ECU. I'm the computer.
Okay.
It takes me to get everything moving. But no, yeah, like I said, I had the cigar. I enjoyed it. I did a video, did a reel for it. I enjoyed the cigar. It was a good cigar. So tell me about them. So what let me know something about them.
Okay, so they are a boutique brand. I don't want to say that they're a small brand because even though, most people say boutique brands are small, I would say they are medium. They are a medium-sized company, just because in the production that they have and how many cigars they're putting out and how they're moving and shaking right now. They have, and I have some notes because I wasn't going to remember all of this late in the day because I've had a couple of drinks already. So they are a Cuban, the blender is a Cuban born tobacconist, master tobacconist. And so they are based out of Tampa. And they only do a 1,500 run a month so that they can, which is like 500 cigars per line, because they want to keep the quality. They want to keep up, the good quality that you expect. I have not had a bad cigar from We the Business. I just have not. And every single cigar that I have gotten has been such a phenomenal smoke. And I think it's because they take such pride in what they do and because they do run it in small batches. And just recently, they are going to start doing a 7-pack sampler. So it would either be you would get 3 of either the Boss line. So, they have the Boss line, the CEO line, and the premium line. So you're going to get like 2, 2, and 3, or I believe that they're going to try to make it so that it's specialized for you, for whomever's ordering it, so that, you can pick out the ones that you want from each of their 3 lines. And if it was for me, I would probably do the tri-leaf from the Boss line. I would probably do the Candela from the Boss line, and I will probably go with the Connecticut from the Executive Premium line. So they give you so many options, and it's just a phenomenal. When I work with brands, I have to make sure that I like the product that they put out and the message that they put out. And the message that We the Business put out is always about, going out there and putting your foot down and making a statement in the cigar industry. Don't sit back and wait for people to say, oh, okay, come on along, I'm gonna help you along. Go out there and make that first step on your own and continue moving forward. And I think that's why I like it so much, because just like the other brands that I represent, I like what it stands for. I like that they are not waiting or asking permission. It's like we are the business, and we're gonna give you this business of these cigars, and they are showing it consistently with all of the cigars that they're putting out.
Now, how did they come up with that name?
You know what? I have no idea. Like, I think that
is very hip hopish.
It is. And you know what? And a lot of his marketing materials that you see online is based out of like, it has like a hip hop feel to it. Like a lot of his videos will have like a backdrop of Jay-Z or the old school hip hop. I call it old school hip hop because I'm in my 50s. So, you know, I don't know what new kids call it, but old school hip hop to me is Jay-Z and Fat Joe. And so he has that consistency of always putting out something in his promos that have an old school message of do the work, go out there, hustle, hustle and grind to get what you need to be a force in this cigar industry.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's been a common thing with everybody we talk to, from Allen with Family by Loyalty, from Waylon with the Hook. Everybody we talk to has had that attitude, and I think actually, to be honest with you, I would say maybe 2-3 people we interviewed outside of them. The cigar industry is getting younger. Hip hop is starting to come in. We're starting to make our impact. And I think a lot of the gatekeepers they having to move now.
Right.
Remember, at first, when you go into a lounge, we was, oh man, let me get the Fuente. I mean, I got a Padermo now. I like Padermo. Shout out to Nick and them. I really enjoy talking to them. But like, you go out there and be like, let me get a Padermo, let me get a Fuente, let me get a Davidoff, But now it's like, hey man, y'all got any Sassy Souls? Hey, y'all got any Caldwells? You got any CAOs? You got any, you know what I'm saying? You got any ish stuff? You got this, you got. So now it's like, and there's a lot of cigar lounges out here, like the one Prestige does it. Evictus, where they have, they're trying to do boutique brands more than legacy brands. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to notice that too.
And I appreciate that because, at first, that's all that it was. It was just, the Davidoffs, the Perdomos, the AJ Fernandez. It was just it was only that. You really couldn't find a boutique brand. You couldn't find a smaller brand. Mm-hmm. And now I think they are realizing, what I believe the cigar lounges are realizing that there are boutique brands that are out there that are so amazing that they can't afford not to have them in their shop. At first it was, oh, well, we don't know if it's going to sell, so we don't really want to carry it just in case. We don't want to, have that just sitting on the shelves. Now they can't afford not to have them on the shelves because when someone comes into their shop and says, do y'all carry small boutique brands? If they say no, a lot of times those people be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll buy 1 or 2 of what you have in here. People are now getting used to boutique brands. And I for one, love a boutique brand. Now, don't get me wrong. I like my Monte Cristos. I'm going to always have one of them in my humidor. I'm going to always have a Caldwell in the humidor. I'm going to always have a Davidoff in the humidor. But I'm more than likely going to have 60% of boutique brands in my humidor.
Mm-hmm. This is weird because you ain't smoking. Normally.
Listen. And see, normally, because you know why? Because I was so thoroughly prepared, I forgot to pick up a lighter on the way over here.
Oh, not the lighter. This is why I grab matches. I got like 60 boxes of matches in my car. And it's weird because I keep my little big plastic joint, the little cheap lighter. I keep it in here in the winter because I know I can light it right back up. But like lighters like this, weather affects it so much. If it's hot, it's not going to work. If it's cold, it doesn't work.
That's the thing. And I'm gonna go out of frame so I can reach my lighter real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. See, but the thing is, the I have just. Oh, sorry, dropped my lighter. I'm having a time today. I feel like Mark when I go close like this. I feel like I'm doing a Mark.
Mark, my man. I hope he can make it next year to the event. I hope you can make it too next year to the event.
Oh, I'm planning it. I'm planning on being out there. Like I said, it's a bonus that I got family out there. So that's that's a two-for trip for me.
Me and B1 got some people out there as well. We're gonna see. I haven't saw them since Chicago, probably before I left. Now when I went back, probably like 13 years since I saw them.
Wow.
So we're gonna
I was sorry that I couldn't make it up to CI, but from all the pictures I see that it was a great time.
Oh, good time.
So I feel like I'm trying not to be the interviewer. Because I can go into that role so quickly.
It's hard. I get it. It's hard.
Yeah.
No, we had a good time. We had a good time. We enjoyed ourselves, man. And you had people that was covering things. I covered a breakfast. My brother covered the breakfast. Messi covered dinner. Hobo covered the breakfast. We was covering tabs. We was buying each other cigars. Ray brought a bunch of stuff. G Money brought a bunch of stuff. Peter came out. He brought some stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I love it. So yeah, so I can't wait. But my goal in working with the We the Business brand, my goal is to get them here in the DMV area. So I'm working with a guy in Baltimore. Hopefully he'll start carrying them. I'm hoping that veterans I have a sales call with him coming up. So I'm hoping, to get them into Veterans Lounge. I'm trying to set up a sale call with Ladies First to try to get her to carry some of them. So I'm trying different avenues. And of course, every event that I go to, I will have some for sale just so that I can, put them out there and people can start to enjoy these cigars. I'm going to an event on Saturday, so I'm going to have. It's not like I'm going to be a vendor, but I'm going to be selling cigars there. So,
yeah, just in case somebody wants some, want to try it out.
Right, just in case. And as soon as they see me, you got any cigars? You got some cigars for sale? And I'm like, okay, now I always have to have some available to sell. Like I make sure that I buy enough that I can sell some and get them out there so that people can see that. Because a lot of people say, oh, I don't smoke boutique brands. I only smoke this or I only smoke that. And then
people like that,
they'll smoke a We the Business, or they'll smoke a Sassy, or they'll smoke a Cloud Bros or a Big Country, and they be like,
man,
hey, you know that cigar?
I was missing the bus on that Cloud, bro. That Blizzard, oh my goodness.
What? I told you. I did not tell you. I told you.
Yeah, I was missing the bus on that. I told Big Country, he said he wasn't at home when I hit him. I like, I need a 5-pack, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cash out you the money. Just send me the cigars.
And that's what we trying to do with We the Business. He's in Florida, like I said, based out of Florida. So he's trying to move up north. He's trying to bring them up here. So that's my goal. My goal is to get them, on the eastern seaboard. That's my goal.
Yeah, we got to try, man. Like every year we doing the list, the top 25. So
so I got to get you some more. I'm gonna get you that 7-pack sampler so that you can have a choice, so you can try them all and then really find which one you really like.
Yeah, we trying to figure the list out. We got some heavy hitters, some good contenders so far. Because Ken Bro told me now you got to pick a cigar. Because at first I couldn't pick cigar. I really like all these. When he's like, no, now you have to pick a specific cigar to tell people to try it. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
That's gonna be hard. I mean, I got but my list changes every week. So, well, you already know Sassy is always gonna be on there. Mm-hmm. We the Business is always gonna be on there. Between Cloud Bros, Big Country, and the other name that left me. They shift in their positions depending on what I'm smoking and where my mood is. So,
I mean, yeah, that's normally how it is. So let me tell you this. So you're not. That's what I like about you. You're not exclusive to that brand. Like you smoke other cigars. Okay, I'm smoking this cigar. It's a good cigar. And and then they understand that was my whole thing. Like, yeah, I rep your cigar, but I got a podcast, so I'm gonna smoke other cigars and talk about other cigars as well.
Right. Right.
So that was never a problem though with any of your deals, was it?
No, it wasn't. And that's the first thing I asked when I was approached, when he approached me.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I just need you to know I represent two brands, Women Smoke Cigars and Sassy Souls. And he said, well, Kimberly from Sassy Souls is the one that told me to contact you. So I was like, oh, okay. So I just want you to know that I'm not exclusive in my content and, in my branding. So as long as it's not a problem, won't be a problem for me. And he has given me so much leeway in promoting his brand that, well, just like Women Smoke Cigars and Sassy, they all give me creative process, right? So it's however I want to promote it. They are not a stickler for, I need you to do this and I want you to do this. Is literally whatever I figure to come up with is what they're like, oh my God, yeah. Can you do some more of that? And it's not like, oh no, we don't like that. But it's every time that I put something out, they are like over the moon for it. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I am an older person in this cigar game, and they see that I do have a voice for the older crowd. I mean, the over 50 crowd.
Mm-hmm. I will say this about the cigar community. They normally, like I said this on other interviews, everybody hangs out. Like, you'll see Cloud Bro smoking a Sassy Soul. You see Sassy Soul smoking a Cloud Bro. You see him smoking a Big Country be smoking a Banff. It should be smoking a Big Country. Like, they all smoke each other's cigars, which you gotta appreciate. Right. And
that's
not a shock.
Exactly.
Like, you going to a McDonald's and he eating Burger King. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's a shock to you. What you doing? But in this atmosphere, is no shock. Like, oh, okay, yeah.
Right. And that's the beauty of it. That literally is the beauty of it. The beauty of representing multiple brands is that you get to see where how the different brands come up with their line of cigars. Mm-hmm. Sassy has a Candela. Her Candela is nothing like We the Business Candela. I can't choose which Candela I like the best because I like them both. Mm-hmm. So it's like, even though the one brand may put out a Candela, that doesn't mean that another brand can't do it. Mm-hmm. So it's, a lot of the bigger brands, they won't cross over because that brand is doing that. I'm not going to do that because they're already doing it. Well, they're not doing your brand. They're doing it based off of what their leaves, how they're growing their leaves, or the regions their leaves are grown in. So I appreciate that about We the Business. They going all out with it. They literally are going all out.
Let me ask you a question. Let me get a personal statement, then it's going to go into a question.
Okay.
I had me and Kimbro, CLP. We had a brand ambassador deal. We had to drop it because they wanted too much. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had a deal where you was like, yo, y'all want way too much? Not understand. I have to. Not only am I representing this brand, I got a podcast, I got events. Like, did you ever have that problem where you had to? No, you ain't got nothing to brand, but you're like, yo, I can't do this. You want too much.
Yeah. It was, being a brand ambassador, it's a lot. It's a lot because when you're a brand ambassador, you also have to be a content creator. Mm-hmm. And a brand had approached me and they was like, oh, okay, we like what you're doing. We would like for you to do that for us. And we went back and forth in contract talks. And then at the end of the day, it was like, oh, well, we want this and this and this and that. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold it, wait. This contract, it spells out specifically what I'm going to do for you. For you to then say, yeah, I want you to do that, but I want you to do, it was almost like I would be working 80 hours a week. Like, they wanted specific numbers of hours.
Yeah.
I don't work that way. I don't work that way. I'm retired. So when I do my content, it's going to, I'm going to put out useful content, but I'm not going to be beholden to a schedule.
Yeah, you like forcing it in at that point. Yeah, like for us, shit, sometimes I might wake up at 3, 4 in the morning and drop something. You know,
exactly.
Drop it. But my thing is like, they was like, oh, we want this and this and this and this, and I'm like, you understand that I got to make content for other things as well, right? Like, let me do it the way I do it, you know, and it's gonna come out cool, you know. But you know how it is. I don't think a lot of them understand content creation.
I don't think they do either. I think they think, oh, she can knock this out in 10 minutes and put that up there. It's like, do you realize for every 30-second video that I post on TikTok, that's like 5 hours of work? Like,
I like that, but that's different for me. I just put it together, like, this should work. It should work. Let's see what happens.
I mean, I film it in like, every TikTok video you see me do, I have probably filmed that in 3 or 4 different sections. And then I have to edit, and then I have the voiceover. That every 30, because I try to keep it between 30 and 45 seconds. Yeah. Each one of them videos is at least 5 hours of work.
See, in my head, I already know what I'm going to do. It's already been planned. I already know how I'm going to do it. I know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to switch cameras. So I already know in my head, it's already put together, just me shooting it. Now, therein lies the problem, me finding the time to shoot it. That's why a lot of times you'll see me, I'm using like pictures of with events I was at, or pictures with me smoking in the morning. I'll do a little morning smoke. This one smoking in the morning. It's just, let me ask you this question. Because now we're not on IG as much. We're on every once in a while because, my work schedule. Mm-hmm. But do you ever do you get burned out?
Yes. Because so I'm a caregiver for my parents. Mm-hmm. So that's a full-time job in itself. Mm-hmm. And then trying to do this. And there are times, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that there was no new video on TikTok. There were barely any pictures on Instagram because I woke up every day thinking, okay, I got to get this done. And literally could not get motivated to do it. Like, I had everything set up. I was, I had my camera set up, the light and everything. And I would sit down and I'd be like, okay, I just don't feel like it. And I didn't do anything during the day, but I just didn't feel like creating content. And I felt bad for the first couple of days. And then I thought, you know what? No, why am I going to feel bad? I'm not going to feel bad. This is my time.
Yeah.
This is my time. And as long as I'm giving them what I promised I was going to give them per month, it doesn't matter if I give it to them in a week or if I give it to them 1 post a week or 4 posts in 1 week and that's it for the month. Mm-hmm. I just I feel like we have to, content creators and brand ambassadors have to give themselves permission to take time off. Because this still is, when you think about it, I'm going to get like Mark. It's a job. It is a job. So that's what it is. And that's what I like about We the Business, because he allows me, he doesn't want something posted every single day. He doesn't have to have something posted every single day because he's on it as well. So when I do post, it's like a bonus. He's so excited that I've posted. I think 1 week I posted something every single day, and he was so excited. He was like, "Oh my God, that was great!" And it was like, okay. I mean, that was just content that I had filmed all last week, and now I get to post it throughout the day.
I got so much content saved up. Because, 2 things. I'm an artist. I went to University of Illinois Art Institute before I got into automotive. I paint, I draw, make music, or used to make music. So it's so much stuff. Like I said, it's so much stuff I got saved up. Actually, we just ran out of film for shows. Like, we had so much film for shows, like just stocked up. We had so much we didn't have to record last winter. We didn't have to record last winter to drop drop episode every single Monday.
Wow.
And that's it comes like that. So so my question to you, has it come like that? Because I remember when we went to Mark thing, I did the interview in the car there, got home, did the interview again with Alan. The next day I did another interview. Then I did one after that, and I was like, oh man, okay, cool. Now I ain't got to worry about it. So now I'm like, so now I tell my brother, hey, you can sleep this week, man.
Right.
You get you some sleep. We ain't got to do it.
And that's a good thing, because you can knock 3 interviews out in one day, or 3 or 6 interviews in 2 days. And then you have something for almost 2 months. You know, so I like to do it that way. If I can get things all videotaped in 1 week, I will do that. And then I will just post it every Wednesday, you know, for my podcast or for YouTube. And I'm happy with it. So it's like when I take a break, I feel like, okay, you know what? Let me just do like television does. Let me create some reruns.
I mean, that's what we're doing right now for the 1 year anniversary of the show. We're doing a lot of flashback episodes, as well as still creating new content.
Congratulations. I forgot to say that starting out. Congratulations on your year.
Yeah, thank you. Most podcasts don't last a year. We did it. We did it with our own money.
Right.
So then, boss shit. That makes you a boss.
There you go.
Did it with our own money. We did have a lot of help. And you know what? And this is what I don't like when people say, oh, in our culture, oh, we don't stick together. That's bullshit. Because when we did that Toys for Tots, I had people send me stuff straight to the house. I was doing giveaways for Purple-tober. I had my buddy House 9 Cigars, which you should interview. Good dude. He sent me the ashtray that we used for that. People be like, oh, you doing this? Cool. Let me donate. So like, and I say that's not necessarily true, because in this community, we do share a lot. You've gave me a lot of great people to talk to as well.
And that's the thing. I haven't found, I found the community to be so inclusive of everybody now. Have I found some assholes? Sure.
Of course.
Have I found some people that I just really just like, okay, I'll see you and I'll speak and I'll be cordial, but as far as hanging out with you, probably not, but that's everywhere. That's in whatever you do, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when you find a great either cigar line, cigar brand, cigar accessory, cigar apparel, it's not a black and white issue. It's just a community issue. And it's like, if you have a great brand, I'm going to support you. When I first saw I think I saw you on Instagram. I'm like, oh man. And then the bonus was you was close to. I was like, oh, I got to start stalking him. I got to stalk his page and find out how this is going and what he's doing. And you gave me the courage to go ahead and start what I had already been doing previously, because I've been on YouTube for probably 12 years because I had my own author talk show and I was at WHUR. So I knew that part, but I got out of it because I was like, I'm tired of it now. So I want to move on to something different. And then seeing you doing cigars, I'm like, oh, I could probably do that. I'm going to do my mark again. And I started doing it and liked it. I'm like, oh, okay. This is pretty cool. This is cool. This is a cool community, no matter what nobody say.
It is. It really is. And like I said, I look at everybody's podcast. I just don't feel everybody's different. Like I don't feel it's like there's nobody out there that does it the way we do it. There's nobody out there that does it the way you do it. I look at you. I look whenever Rob them come back on 5150 talk show. Smoke show. Was it 5121? Well, it was Smoke Show. More Rob them. I watched their stuff. I watched the Burn Down podcast. I watch a lot of stuff. I watched Lee Mack. I actually got to talk to Lee Mack. We talking to him. Like a lot of these people, I watched their podcast. Like, okay, cool. But have you noticed? You know what? Shout out to, and before we get into that, shout out to Sassy for doing that. Sassy Heels. I like that on Sunday. They got their little show.
Yeah, I love it.
Have you noticed though? It's a lot of cigar podcasts coming out now. Like I'm just noticing that, like everybody dropping on, huh?
Yeah, and you know what? Here's what I did. I have noticed that, and some of them don't need to be doing podcasts. I mean, I'm
We being real. No, we being real.
It's just like you everyone doesn't need a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't do, and I feel, my opinion only, don't call into the show and don't write me no letters. This is my opinion only.
No,
my opinion is everyone is jumping on this podcast bandwagon because they think that it is going to make them blow up all of a sudden. And
it don't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. I do podcasts because I love talking to people and because I can be more social on my podcast than I would be out and with a face-to-face meeting. No. So for me, doing a podcast is like sitting and talking to somebody like I'm sitting and talking to them one-on-one. Mm-hmm. A podcast for me is a very social thing. And I didn't jump on the bandwagon. I already had one.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. It's not like I'm going on there with a purpose. I'm not going on. I didn't create a podcast to get something. I didn't create a podcast to see if I could one up somebody. I started my podcast again just because I wanted people to see that an over 50-year-old in the cigar world doing a podcast is not a novelty. It is just a market that another 50-year-old or 50-something had not done yet. And after looking around, I think Lee Mack might be in his 50s, but I'm not sure. It's not that many of us that are older that are doing this. Now, are there some older ones that have been doing it? Yes. Davidoff has some guys that do it in London. Okay, but they all the way in London. I ain't going to London no time soon. Hopefully in the next year, but I ain't going no time soon. So I feel that a lot of these podcasts just need to stay in their lane. You got to find the lane that you belong in. I'm not going to jump into a lane that I don't belong in. If I feel like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it because I'm comfortable doing it and not because I see so many other people. Oh, let me do a podcast. I'm gonna do a podcast. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. And when I get tired of doing it, I'm no longer gonna do it. I'm not gonna force myself to do it.
Yeah, I will say this: ain't no traffic in your lane.
Right.
If that makes sense to y'all, ain't no traffic in your lane. If you stay in your lane, you'll be good. Ain't no traffic there. So when you switch over, you start incurring traffic.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people don't understand. So what we're doing on YouTube is a show. It's just a YouTube show. The podcast part comes in with the audio.
Right.
Podcast is a downloadable audio file. That is the definition of a podcast. So right. You're just doing a show. Because I have people like that. Oh man, you're just doing a show. Like, no. We're on Spotify. No,
right.
No, we're on. You know what I'm saying? We're on Spotify. We have a Spotify page. Like we actually have a podcast, and we put this show to video as well because we figure, hit them in both ends. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But yeah, it's to us when we start. So I had my page about 3 or 4 years, and I was just doing traveling, doing cigar tours, doing cigar reviews, which I got tired of cigar reviews because you can't enjoy your cigar if you try to review it.
Right.
And we came together. We was like, yo, we should do a podcast. We should do a podcast about cigars. We came together and did that. And I would say this, with the podcast for us, it's just fun. We get to sit down and talk to people. We get to talk to people. I never thought that, I would talk to Carlito, right. Shout out to my man Josh at the box. Now, it ain't Tinderbox, it was the box.
Right.
I talked to Caldwell. I've had shout out to my man Dan at Dan's Cigar Lounge in Rosedale. We've sat down, talked, met Padermo. It's amazing the people that you meet and you get to sit down and have a talk with. Like, oh, that's a regular cool ass motherfucker.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. That's the thing I love about doing a podcast. When you get to sit down and talk to people, like Magnolia, the cellar geek. She has told me more about wine in the 2 interviews I have done with her than I have known in my 57 years. Well, okay, I haven't been drinking for 57 years. Let's just say for my 37 years that I've been drinking. But it's like you
It's okay.
meet
No,
these people.
it's okay. 57 years. You've been drinking. Go ahead. No, it's cool. It's cool.
I
No,
mean,
it's
because
cool.
I think I was drinking pretty early.
Yeah, we're not gonna judge you. We're not gonna judge you.
No judgment zone. No judgment zone.
Yeah, I think
But
she has our highest viewed video so far.
listen, it's just amazing the people that you get to meet doing a podcast. And talking about things that you would normally talk about if you got to see that person on an everyday basis. You get to do that in the podcast, which is I feel the coolest thing ever.
I would say that. So with IG, let me ask you this question with IG, because this is my theory on IG. We've talked, me, you, Mark, Hobo, we've all talked. It's like when we meet each other, you don't have that awkward silence, like you know each other. Like, do you think IG has been like, and don't get me wrong, it has been a detriment, but do you think like the good outweigh the bad? Like, what are your opinions on social media when it comes to the cigar industry?
I think Instagram I think it's beneficial. What I do believe is that now, because before I saw cigar people on Instagram, I would occasionally see people smoking cigars on Instagram, and I would get to know them, quote unquote, know them through their social media pages. I feel that social media is a good tool. It doesn't take away from the face-to-face meetings, but I believe social media is a better tool to weed out the assholes. I mean, you get to see the assholeness on Instagram, and then it's like, okay, so then that's not going to be somebody I'm gonna hang out with on a regular basis. That, I mean, I see the shit he doing on Instagram, so. Yeah. I can talk to them on Instagram, but that ain't gonna be somebody that I'm gonna run to their event. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's not that thing, but it's also detrimental because I think people are using Instagram for their persona, and they're trying to live up to their persona instead of being themselves. You see, it's a platform. All social media is a platform for you to be yourself, put yourself out there for people. Now, when you start to pretend that you're this or you're that and just all over the place, now you're feeding into that social media hype. And I think what is happening is people are believing the hype that they are presenting on Instagram, and then they're trying to live up to that in their personal life. Yeah. I am how I am. I'm goofy at times. I'm absent-minded at times, but I'm going to be the same. When you see me on a podcast or YouTube, or you see me in person, I'm going to be the same person. I'm going to be nice and quiet at first. And then I'm going to have a couple of drinks and a couple of cigars, and I'm going to get silly. That's just how it goes.
Speaking of drinks, get you some of this Jefferson small batch. Get you some of this.
Jefferson small batch. You know what? I think I had that before and really didn't know what I had because, again,
But this one right here, the regular, the Ocean's good too, but this regular is pretty good as well.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. Let me tell you, I had that Buffalo Trace this weekend.
Oh, I just had that. Pete brought me a bottle of that. That's good. It's a shame though. It's so hard to find here, and they overprice it.
Yes, and that's the thing. Let me tell you something. Walter and Pam, the people that started me smoking cigars, they live in Virginia. They had to go sign up for a drop. And then they get a text message that the drop will be happening on a certain day at certain stores, and they got to get to the store before the doors open, or you're not gonna get what you want to get.
Luckily, I got people. Hey, holler at my man Horse and Carriage.
Oh, listen. Oh, wait a minute, because he's able to get a few things, ain't he?
Yeah, he got the hookup.
Does he?
You got the hookup. If I go back home, I can get this stuff. But here, like I said, it's so hard to get here, and it's so overpriced.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I'm just not. I like Buffalo Trace. I'm not paying $60, $70 for a bottle of Buffalo Trace.
But and it's not even a big bottle. It's just like your average bottle. God,
Oh,
dang.
I'm finna for my birthday. I'm getting the Davidoff cognac.
Oh, wait. Hold
They
it.
got it. They got it out here.
Davidoff's have a cognac. Cognac.
So they was gonna make a cognac and name it after the cigar. They
Okay.
went to the makers, and the makers like, damn, this is good. Matter of fact, it's so good, we're gonna buy the distillery.
What?
They bought out the distillery.
Wow. Wow. Oh, okay. So do they sell it here in Maryland?
Yeah, it's right there at the 925 over here in Waldo.
Oh, okay. See, I hadn't planned on going to the liquor store tomorrow, but I guess I'm gonna have to make a trip.
I gotta get one. I told her I promised, and shout out to Chalk because she gave me the little bottles. Vacuum seal. So I got to ship some. I got to ship some out to a couple people, so I might have to get 2 bottles. Fucking around.
Oh,
I said we got to have a bottle for my birthday. We got to have a birthday drink.
yeah. When is your birthday?
July 10th.
July 10th. Okay. What you doing? Where you going? You doing it?
I'm trying to get to Houston.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the plane tickets and everything. If not Houston, I don't know, man. I might just hang out in Baltimore, Ocean City, or Rehoboth. Yeah, however you said that place. Maybe Raleigh. I don't know. It's gonna be, if I can't go there, it's gonna be somewhere not this close, but not too close. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Because anytime I get to, my goal is once a month. I'm going somewhere. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere once a month. I'm out of here. I'm like on the third, and it doesn't have to even be long. It's like a Thursday to a Sunday or a Thursday to a Monday. It's like, but it's happening. It's happening.
With the weekends off, I'm making better money now. Yeah, I figure, at least once, twice, once a month or once every 2 months, go somewhere.
Right. See, and that's the beauty of it. When you go somewhere, you may see cigars that you haven't seen in your area, because I did not know that cigars are regional. Some cigars they only sell in certain regions. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they got Espinosa makes a 4-star society cigar. It's only it's exclusive to a store in Chicago, Benny's, and it's one of the best cigars I had. I keep telling Ken, bro, you gotta send them to me, man. I need to see how much a box is. I gotta get a box of those or a bundle, wherever they sell them. I need those.
Wow. Yeah, again, I'm finding out so much about the cigar industry. You think when you get so much information, you think you know a lot, and every day I'm learning something different. Every day there's something new that I'm learning.
Like a wise man once say, only thing I know is that I don't know anything.
Yes.
You never know. When it comes to like automotive, every 6 months you got to go back to school. Every 6 months something changed with the car, you got to go back to school and learn about it. So it's a continual process, and that's how I look at it with cigars. It's a process, because like, let's take Ish for instance. Ish does tobacco. First of all, I didn't know they had tobacco there. So now I'm asking about this. Like, we made the pure African with African tobacco in it.
Wow.
Cigars out there, and I promise you, it's a great cigar. Everybody, even people that don't necessarily like Ish, love that cigar.
Really? I've never had it, so now I feel. Now, see, I don't like to be missing out. I'm gonna have to find it.
Yeah, I'll get you one. I might know the owner. He's doing one now. It's going to be available after PCA. It's going to be available in Chicago, Atlanta, New York, LA, and Vegas.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be exclusive to them. Mafioso is a mafia themed cigar. It's made up. It's got Italian. It has an Italian wrapper. I forgot what he said. Filler and binder. And I forgot what he said it was.
Wow.
But I want to try that as well. So yeah, it's interesting things. Like, he has the Irishman is Irish tobacco. I didn't know they grew tobacco in Ireland, but
I didn't either. But you know what? I would guess so, because Ireland is kind of moist and damp, and so it will probably be conducive to growing tobacco. I mean, it doesn't get too hot. I mean, it gets warm, but it don't get overly hot. So I would say, it probably is a damn good cigar, probably.
I see that. Actually, you're telling us about tobacco in China as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know none of this stuff. Like, so yeah, it's an everyday thing. And like with you, like, say, you're doing weed business right now. How much, like, every day something changes, right? Like, how much have you learned from them, and how much you realize that, damn, I don't know that. I don't know what I don't know everything.
Yeah. And listen, every day when I'm looking at, okay, so I have 2 separate boxes from We the Business. I have the Boss brand, and then he just sent me the I had the Boss brand first, and now I have the Executive, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the Executive, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. These are different. Like, like even, you think that all the cigars are going to be the same length, the same size, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wait a minute. These basically, this whole brand, the Executive brand is almost like all in Saros. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm floored by that, but floored by that in a good way, though. Mm-hmm. So, and then, like I said, looking at where he grows his leaves and his tobacco, it's like, what? I ain't never heard of these places. Like, listen, I was not good in history, but I'm learning a whole hell of a lot of history now with cigar brands, because some of his is in Florida, and then, like I said, the other line is from Nicaragua, but it's on the northern part, which is closer to Honduras. Ask me anything about Honduras. I don't know nothing about Honduras nor Nicaragua. I don't know none of that, but I'm learning it because this is where he's growing his cigars at. So it's like, man, now I feel like I need to deep dive into this, because he has 3 different regions in Nicaragua, and I can't even say the names. I'm not even going to try to say the names, but when he's growing them there, it's like different regions. Some are shady, some are rainy, some
different flavors, profiles.
Yeah, different flavors. So it's like, man, this brand is like, you know how you use the term all over the place? Mm-hmm. Well, it really is all over the place, but in a good way. Mm-hmm. It's all over the place in a good way, because he's putting out some kick-ass cigars.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you a question about our people, right? It's a lot of our people who people don't know that's out there making cigars. Like, for instance, I got to get to Dan's Cigar Lounge. I got to go to Rosedale. I'll make a trip to Baltimore, because he has the Ed Reed cigars. I told him, hold one for me. Listen. Ed Reed teamed up with Plasencia to make his cigars. And Plasencia don't make garbage.
Right.
So what do you feel about, like, do you see, like, our people starting to, like, come to the forefront, starting to get, recognition for what they're doing?
I think they are. And, I think that Ed Reed is going to be the person that do that. I've been following his cigar journey, his cigar brand journey. Mm-hmm. And he's one that I really, really want to talk to. I really, really want to have an interview with him. Like,
I sent so much stuff to him, like, yo, dude, I would love to have you. I understand he's busy, but I love to talk to him.
Right. But
got a cigar I love to talk to too, Dominique Wilkins.
Yes. Yeah. Like, and who knew that? Who knew that?
I didn't know that until I walked into the box, and I was like, what the fuck is this? A guy grabbed 3 of them. I said, what's those? It's just Dominique Wilkins cigar. So they 15 a piece. Luciano made them. And I had one, and I was like, oh my goodness. I said, give me 4 more of these.
Wow. Yeah. So Ed Reed was just at Legacy Cigar Lounge over the weekend.
Oh shit, I wish I'd have known how to win.
I think he just pulled up. There. You know what I mean? I think it was just a drop by. And when I saw the photo, I was like, Chris, he was that close. He was like, it was just a drop by. I was like, oh man. But he's now going, he's going to different cigar lounges promoting his cigars. So maybe it's in the car for us to get together and interview him. I'm just saying.
I told my man Dan from Dan Cigar Lounge, I said, if he come, let me know. Because he had I met Ray Lewis when he was up. So Ray Lewis did a cut and light at his lounge, and I was up there, and I was like, dude, I said,
have you had Ray Lewis's cigar?
I had it.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's better than a lot of people. I don't like I ain't gonna get to who I don't like. It's better than a lot of people.
You know what? To be completely honest, it was good, but I feel like it could have been better. Mm-hmm. I feel like it was a rushed product. I feel like he rushed it, and it could have been so much better.
That's how I feel.
It wasn't horrible. but it could have been much better. It could have. I think it was just I'm gonna get this out here because I'm in Baltimore. I'm gonna get this out there on the market, and you know.
I think Ed Reed. I think with him, he took more time.
Yes.
He took more time, and he talked to everybody, and he decided what he wanted to do. I think like that's important in anything, whether you're being an ambassador or you're building a podcast, any brand that you're building. I think it's better if you take time and realize what you're trying to do.
Yes.
And try to achieve that, and just, I had the ability to do that, because honestly, we have the ability to make cigars.
Oh yeah.
We know about 3 or 4 makers, like not just brand owners, like cigar makers, like rollers, and we tobacconists, like we know them people. I'm like, not now.
Right. Yeah, because people keep asking me, Coco, you coming out with a cigar? Nope, I'm not.
Me. I'm like,
don't even. I'm not. That's not something that I want to do. That's not something I have any inclination of doing. Mm-hmm. That's not my lane. See, again, I know my lane, and that ain't it.
We might do one. I think we might do one. I think we might do a limited run, maybe 100, 200, maybe 500, just to celebrate the year.
Okay.
We might do that. Other than that, I really don't see us like, oh man,
being a consistent brand.
Yeah, I don't see that. I see maybe every year, maybe do a anniversary release. Mm-hmm. But as for that, like, we having too much fun smoking other people's shit.
Right. See, and that's me too. That's me too. And that was the thing about We the Business as well, because he's been doing this for a few years. Mm-hmm. And he just now decided, okay, now I'm ready to take another step forward. You know, some people get into the cigar game and then they just go all out and say, okay, this is what I need. I need brand ambassadors, I need content creators, and instead of really working on their cigar. So he decided, I'm working on the cigar first, and then I'm going to, when it's time, I'm going to start getting it out there and putting it out there for, marketing more towards, cigar smokers into the community. And I believe he did it the right way, because he sat back, looked, watched. When it was his turn to merge in, he merged in, and now he's moving forward now.
Yeah, I remember, because he came on my radar a while ago, and the cigars weren't even out yet. I was like, yeah, how can I get to see? Like, oh, it ain't out yet. He was like, well, when it dropped, you'll know it dropped, because we're gonna go heavy when it dropped.
Right.
So, and he did. He went heavy when it dropped, and I would give him that. The man knew what he was doing. He didn't release some BS. A lot of people release BS.
Right. And then try to pull it back and make improvements.
Yeah.
He put out the best cigar possible. So you couldn't say that, it's a good cigar. It could have been better. You know what I mean? These are great cigars. He put out some great cigars. And I count myself lucky that he asked me to represent his brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember Sass was talking about that. We talking to Kim, and she was talking about that. Like, yeah, I told her he gotta get on him. Like, she hardworking. You, I say you and MJ too. Y'all two of the hardest working brand ambassadors I've seen. Y'all always dropping, always promoting, always representing. So it's like, man, when you see that, you're like, it is some good ambassadors, because we see every once in a while we'll see some ambassadors and we like,
okay.
So what brand you gonna be an ambassador for today?
Right. Like, you moved on from that one. Oh, okay, it's different. See, for me, it's all about consistency. You have to be consistent in this. It's not I've been with Kim almost a year. Mm-hmm. Almost a year. I've been with her almost a year. And every day I am still amazed at the quality that she puts out. I've been with We the Business now for 2 months, and I am still consistently surprised. Oh, I forgot he does have coffee mugs too. I meant to show that. I
saw that on your TikTok.
Yeah. So it's like when it's a good brand, you can stand behind it. And when it's a good brand, you don't mind putting in that extra work and going out and promoting. This shirt, I'm gonna be rocking this shirt and the pink and white one because first of all, it's fly. It is fly, and the colors pop. And I like that. It mimics the cigar. It literally mimics the cigar. So it's like. When you have that consistency, some people don't have that consistency between their cigar and their branding. It's like, oh, that goes with that. Oh, I wouldn't have never known that. I would never put that together. You know. So it's like when you get I'm saying this for anybody that wants to represent brands or wants to be a content creator, you got to think, does it align with what your personal brand is? Is it aligning with that? Don't just keep grabbing something because they've given you something. First of all, you're not going to get something without giving them something. So don't look at it like, oh, I want to be a brand ambassador, content creator because I want to get free cigars. First of all, we don't give free cigars all the time, people. I bought my cigars when I first started representing Sassy Soul. I was buying my cigars.
And we know the general public, if you smoke cigars, we know when you're faking it.
Exactly.
We know.
Exactly. So don't do that.
But we know.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to spot. It ain't hard to tell. We know.
Right. Don't be the faker. Don't be the faker. Like your your podcast said, or don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those people. Because we're gonna spot you. We're gonna spot you.
We find you. It's easy to weed you out.
Right.
I would say that, and when it comes, so let me ask you this: in this, your own IG, your own TikTok, you got your podcast. How do you stay away from sucker shit, for lack of a better term? Like, how do you avoid? Because we, as you know, we're learning as we go, and we spot it and we kind of like fall back from. But how do you, like, how do you avoid the potholes in your lane?
Well, okay. So sometimes it's unavoidable. You hit the pothole, right? Once you hit it, though, you already know what you got. So for me, I hit a pothole. But you know what? I recognized it for what it was. And even though I may be cordial, you're not going to get my energy. I'm not going to give you any of my energy. I'm not going to give you any of my space. So like sucker shit, I don't go for. I first of all, I'm too old for it. I don't have time for it. I don't need. Smoking a cigar for me is not about, oh, this person is talking about that person. I don't go for that. If somebody could start to talk about somebody to me, and I will change the subject so quick and get quiet that they be like, well, what's wrong? What happened? Nothing. I just don't have nothing else to say. I'm like, oh, are we gonna be, what you talking about?
Here come my co-host. Finally.
Oh, he woke up from his nap.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable. You're gonna always get those, sucker shit. You're gonna get the Bamas. You're gonna get the, potholes in life. It's all how you deal with them and how you handle them. And I choose to handle them by not.
Yeah, I like that. I like that about you. But I'm like Tupac. I'm a bomb first. I'm a bomb first. When you say something crazy, I'm a bomb first. Because I can't let you take shots because you might hit somebody, you might hit an innocent bystander, you might hit my brother or Ken, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna jump in front and I'm gonna go ahead and let off first.
But see, here's the thing though. You might try to bring that to me, but I'm not gonna engage with you in a public forum. But what I will do, I will get in your inbox and I will tell you a thing or two. And then if you decide that you want some more of this smoke, I'm not the kind that's not going to put your name out there. I will put your name out there. I will tag you in whatever I'm saying about you, and then I will let you deal with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
because, my petty run deep. I'm going to be like Mark now. My petty runs very deep.
Oh, man. You talking to Tyler Petty over here. I go in. I don't want no problems with Petty Murphy. I'm just gonna show up at your front door, and while we having dinner, I'm gonna go ahead and say what I gotta say. We gonna record it. No,
I'm gonna eat up your steak, and then I'm gonna tell you.
It's crazy. So let me ask you this, and we've had this, and we talked about this on multiple shows. But like, have you had people like steal ideas from you or concepts from you after you've done it, and they try to take credit for it? Like, how do you deal with that?
You know what? I don't even, it irritates my entire spirit when that happens. And it happens a lot, especially on TikTok. But you know what I then realized? Well, they may have taken an idea or taken, information or whatever and given it to, use it for their own benefit. But then I figure, their audience is not mine. So I'm not going to interact with their audience, and they probably will not interact with my audience. The only reason they're following me or interacting with me is to see what I'm going to do so they can then repeat it. Okay, well, if you feel that I am repeat worthy, have at it. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to tag you and be like, hey, in answer to your video, this is how that goes, or this is what was actually said. Say it all the way. Don't just use part of it. So I'm kind of flattered. My sister used to always say this to me. They take and they say things about you because they want to be you. So let them be you momentarily, because eventually those people that listen to it the first time are going to say, hey, didn't Coco say that? Mm-hmm. Didn't Be Swangin' Sweat say that? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, it's going to still come back around to me. So I'm going to let you have that for the moment. Mm-hmm. For the moment.
Mm-hmm. And just know we still outside.
Right. Still outside.
Still outside. Well, yeah. That's. I mean,
You heard?
Yeah, heard. We outside. We had. You know how that go. Here's my thing. I don't have a problem with anybody, but what I will not tolerate is disrespect.
Right.
I will not tolerate you coming on my platform and being disrespectful that I see on other platforms and you respect it. And even after all that, like I tell people, even after all that, this ain't beef. Like, it's not beef. I'm from the streets. I know beef. You got
right.
Before you come outside, you gotta look at you gotta watch what neighborhood you. I know beef. This ain't beef. It's a teachable lesson.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta spank your kids. You know what I'm saying? And I expect a Father's Day gift from a lot of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta spank your kids every once in a while.
Exactly. It's you know what? And I feel like it's more about clout. Like, who has the clout? Who has more? Mm-hmm. And isn't there enough clout to go around?
That's what we've been saying. Is the table big enough for everybody to eat?
Everybody. I mean, I don't eat much. So it ain't going to bother me if your plate bigger than mine. Because I'm going to be happy for you because I got the plate that I want. You get the plate that you want. Mm-hmm. Don't come over here trying to take my plate because you think that I'm trying to out you and do more than you. Listen,
you gonna eat that cornbread?
It's not that serious for me. Don't come up here trying to be sneaky and do this offhand. Then you gonna try to talk to me on the slide and be like, oh yeah, did you hear about? No, I ain't hear about none of that. Mm-hmm. None of it. So
yeah.
I don't go for that. Is in the cigar community, if you are having drama while you're smoking a cigar, you're in the wrong community, because that's not what this community is about.
Exactly. I'm like Eddie Murphy. Hell yeah, I'm gonna eat my cornbread. Don't ask me if I'm gonna eat my cornbread. Yeah, I'm gonna eat my cornbread. Touch my cornbread, is gonna be consequences and repercussions. You know what I'm saying? I ain't full yet. Sometimes you just got to be that way. Yeah, you got to be that way. So let me ask this question. So everybody, and this is what I keep telling people, when it comes, everybody has a different version, a different version of success. Not everybody's definition of success is the same. Everybody's definition of success is different. So what is your definition of success?
My definition of success is I am where I feel I should be. That is success for me.
Okay.
I'm not going to go I'm not going to be up here thinking I need to be up here and I'm here. If I'm consistently here, I am successful. Maybe I'm not supposed to be up here. I'm supposed to be right here. And that to me is if I got to where I said I wanted to be, I'm successful. When I was in my 40s, I said I was going to retire when I was in my 50s. That to me, I retired when I was 52. I'm successful. I'm plain and simple. When I started smoking cigars, I said, I want to be able to tell other people about cigars and represent brands that I truly and wholeheartedly believe in. And that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm successful. I don't need anything else because to me, that's success. When you say, I want to do this and you reach that, not keep moving the ladder. Don't keep moving that chain. This is not football. You ain't first, second, third, and fourth down. If you say, I want to be here, this is what I want for my life, and you get there, then you're successful.
Okay. B1, you got any questions?
No.
What your lady ass? All right, so let me end it with this last question.
Life happens.
If you could tell yourself, your younger self, anything, any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Don't be scared to live the way you want to. For so many years, my life lesson has been that for most of my life, I was too scared to do what I really wanted to do because I thought people would judge me. And when I hit 52, when I retired at 52, and I was like, oh, I would really want to do this or that and the other, I was still kind of hesitant. But then when I turned 55 and started smoking cigars, and people was giving me the sideways look of what you smoking cigars now? When you start smoking cigars? I then at that very moment said, you know what? Because I want to. If I could tell my younger self anything, do it because you want to do it. Do it because you want to do it, not because somebody else is going to look at you sideways. So if you want to smoke that cigar, smoke that cigar. If you want to smoke weed. Do it because you want to, not because of what other people are going to judge you on. And that's what I was scared of. I was scared of being judged. I am no longer scared of being judged.
Okay. Good answer.
See, that's kind of where my saying come in. I mean, other people said it before me, obviously, but it's something that I truly believe, and I tell people this all the time. I do what I want. You do what you can. Meaning, I do whatever it is I want to do. You do what other people allow you to do. You do what you let other people dictate what you do. I don't.
Yes. And that's how I lived my younger life. My younger life was dictated by what other people wanted me to do. And when I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore, and I decided living my life the way I wanted to, that is what I wish I could tell if I could go back in time, I would say to that younger person, girl, you better go out there and do what you want to do. Because let me tell you something, doing what I want to do right now, I'm having the time of my fucking life.
Okay. There you go. See, I was always raised to be a habitual line crosser. So I've never had that, like, oh, I'm worried about what people think. I was never raised like that. I was always raised to question everything. Go out and long as it's not hurting anybody, do what you're gonna do. I think that's a very important lesson we have to teach our youth as well, because a lot of them, they're so enamored with this social media and they're so stuck on this clout thing. You have to tell them, look, dude, forget
Make a path for yourself.
Yeah.
Like you said, stay in your lane, because ain't no traffic in the lane that you are supposed to be in.
Yeah. And then you get all these likes, and I'll be telling you, you get all these likes, you got all these followers and all these likes. Now what?
Right.
You got a brand, don't even know you had a brand. Don't even know what to do with it. You just getting the likes to say people like you. You got a brand.
Exactly.
2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 followers, and you're not doing anything with it. You're just collecting more followers. You're collecting more followers. It's like, do something with it.
Right, exactly. And for me, it's not about the likes, it's not about the followers, because the followers that I have, the followers that actually follow me and almost kind of sort of like know me, when I took that hiatus like 2 weeks ago, they were in my inbox immediately. Are you okay? What's going on? We ain't seen you post. Like, they were genuinely concerned. It wasn't like, oh, okay, well, let's move on to the next person. No, these people were engaging with me. It gets a little much sometimes, because, and you should know this as well, both of you, because when you become an influencer, it's a different type of thing than just being on social media. So social media is one thing. Being an influencer is something different. Mm-hmm. And those two things, you have to actually realize that what you do will influence someone else's behavior. Mm-hmm. And when you influence somebody else's behavior, that's a huge responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. Now, you just brought that question up. Now I'm about to ask you, how weird is it? I know you told me the story, but how weird is it when you just outside and people just notices you? First of all, you see them staring.
Right.
And then they'll come up like, hey, aren't you blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
That, first of all, is creepy. It's creepy in a good way, though, because you know how you always got your head on a swivel, right? So you always notice when someone is looking a little too long. So then you're thinking, why are they looking? One, are they going to try to rob me? Or two, is my shirt dirty? Is my skirt up? What's happening? And then they get the courage to come to you and say, aren't you Coco? And then you think, how the hell they know that? And then you have to do the double take of, oh yeah, because I am Coco on social media. So then it's like, I'm very flattered at that point, because at that point it's like, wow, I feel honored that someone is taking the time to come over to me to say, hey, I like your videos and I like what you said about this, and I'm glad that you're smoking cigars. And it's so nice to have that happen. But I'm still the same way, because sometimes when I see people that I know I follow on social media, I'm that person. I'm the one staring, trying to figure out, can I inch my way over there? Can I go over there and talk to them? Like, so it's weird, but weird in a good way. And funny story real quick. I went down to the Southern Soul concert for my birthday weekend in April. And down at Southern Souls, down past Richmond, Virginia, I don't know literally only the people that I went with did I know. I'm sitting there, I'm jamming to the music, and literally I get a tap on the shoulder. Are you Coco Cigar Cutie? And I'm like, yes. And he then says, see that tent over there? And I look, and it's about 20 people. They are all waving to me because they have been following me on TikTok. And the first thing they said was, you selling any cigars? And I'm like, no, I'm not, because who would have thought that I would have known anybody all the way down in Richmond at a Southern Soul concert? Like, it was just, and so they all were taking pictures. They were all so enamored. And I literally had the biggest smile on my face, because I'm like, oh my God, these people, I don't know. Some of them were from North Carolina. Some were from Tennessee. Some were from Mississippi. I didn't know any of these people except for they have been following me on TikTok. And it was such a pleasure just meeting them. And it's like, wow, I guess I'm doing something right, that I'm being noticed.
See me, I'm really arrogant. So if that was me, I'd kind of be like Maui from Moana. Be like, yeah, it's really me. Soak it in. You're welcome.
The craziest thing when we did the first joint in February, and I was just going live, and then these people was like, hey, it's like, who are you guys? Like, oh, we nobody. They're like, no, I think you guys are somebody. And one of the guys was like, "Hey, what's your IG?" He's like, "Give my IG." He's like, "Oh no, you're somebody." He's like, "She's like, could we hang out with you guys?" Like, "Yeah, what up,
Yeah.
out here?"
Yeah, I mean, I got the same thing when we were there in February. The lady that she was sitting like 4 tables in when you came up the steps and came toward the back, it was her and some of her friends, I guess, and her husband. And she grabbed me by the arm when I was heading over to the bar, and she was like, "Hey, I follow all of you guys on IG." And I'm like, "How does this woman know us?" And she was like, she followed me to the bar and she was like, "You know, you all are Insta stars. You're Instagram stars. You're," and for her to then tell the bartender that was just like phenomenal. And you know, it was like everyone was looking in the back and who are they? Oh, that's what. And she went back to her table and she was like, "You know who they are?" And she pulls up her Instagram and she's showing all of us. Like she literally showed everybody all of our pages. And I'm like, wow. She literally came because you put it out there that we were going to be there. She didn't hang out with us, but she was there because she saw it on your Instagram. So it was, I mean, it's phenomenal. It literally is phenomenal. When you can take over a room and you really don't even know you taking over a room. You know what I mean?
She could have popped up. Well, I know that. I didn't even know that. Yo, she could have popped up, definitely.
Yeah, it was so nice. I mean, she bought me like she bought me like two beers and 2 shots and a cigar. So it was like, wow, okay. She was like, "Oh, I just gotta buy you something. What are you drinking? What are you drinking?" You know.
That happened to me when we was down by the pool table, and one of the ladies was like, "Oh, I follow you guys." She's like, "What are you drinking?" I'm like, "Just some Jack." "Okay, what cigar you smoking?" I'm like, "Oh, right now?" I'm like, "Oh, I just went out and got a what the fuck did I have? I might have had the I had the LFD Reserva." It's like, "Oh my goodness, let me get you an LFD. I'm like, "You don't have to do any of this."
Right. And they really want to because they feel that they are giving back to us, and they're giving back by just recognizing us and coming up and speaking. Now it's still creepy, but I enjoy that they're coming up and speaking and not just, you know, staring at me and watching me walk away and come back and pointing. Like, speak. It's okay, just speak.
It's still weird as hell. I had a video of one of the guys when I went to Leonardtown Cigars, and a couple guys like, "Oh, I didn't know that was you." It's like, "Oh, I'm in your video. Oh man, when you come back, yeah, let me know, man. Drinks on me, drinks." Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it is amazing to get recognized. But my whole thing is it's just conversation that we have. We just having conversation, having a good time. I'm never going to be above reproach. You can always approach me. As long as you ain't on no bullshit, you can always approach me, say what's up, say hey. And I'm going to talk to you like you're a person. You know, that's always been my thing. I'm always going to talk to you like you're a person. We have a conversation. Shit, I might follow you. Hey, let me follow you. What's your name? You know?
Exactly.
So that's my thing. B1, anything to add?
Nothing to add except sorry I'm late. Like I said, like
Might be like it sometimes.
I messaged him. I told him I woke up. I had 14 missed calls, all sorts of missed messages. Yeah, it was.
Dude, I didn't even sleep last night. I was so tired. I called in. I said, "I know I'm supposed to be off next Thursday. Let's switch it to this Thursday." I'm tired.
Because again, sometimes you just got to do it.
Yeah, man.
That third shift life is a whole different beast. I'm gonna let y'all know that.
That's why I say I gotta get. That's why I'm trying to move closer to the job. Save me on some gas and some time. I gotta actually get some sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this has been fun, everybody.
Yes, it has.
I'm your local hero, reminding you to blow your smoke like a goddamn gentleman and gentlewoman.
Peace.
You forgot your saying though. You gotta say your saying before we go.
You know what it is. Be one of y'all. So bring your problems to me.
And leave your problems over there. All right, now that that's officially done. We are.
And this is Stone Cold Cigar Cutie, you know.
You always catch us on IG. We all on IG. Cigar Loungin podcast on IG. Was it B Swinger?
Be Swangin' Webster on IG and Coco Cigar Cutie on TikTok.
Yeah, Cigar Lounge podcast on TikTok. So go ahead and follow us, y'all. We always have a conversation. Next year we in Vegas. Remember what happened in Vegas?
Baby.
It stays in Vegas until I see it.
Right. Listen, if it ain't on video, it didn't happen.
Oh, it's gonna be on video.
There will be evidence somewhere.
It will be evident. Yeah, we out, man. I'm taping y'all. I'm letting y'all know somebody getting taped.